All right, hello everyone. Welcome to today's virtual training. Today we're going to cover the FW17 fifth wheel from Holland. Quick introduction, my name is Tony Ryan. I'm the Technical Services Manager here at SAF-HOLLAND. To your left is Ronnie Hines, one of my field service guys. He looks after the East Coast of the US. He's going to help me out today and play the cameraman extraordinaire. All right, so let's get into the FW17 slide deck that we're going to run through. So we're going to run through some things like some improvements between Gen 1 and Gen 2, options that you've got available, adjustment procedure, there's adjustment video resources, etc. in there. So fifth wheel identification, first things first, on almost all of our fifth wheel, the serial ID tag is on the left-hand side of the ring. So as you can see on figure 1 there, the serial tag's on the left ramp there. Figure 2 is what it looks like, which we'll touch on in the next slide. And then figure 3 and 4 are just the visible indicators between Gen 1 and Gen 2. So we went to Gen 2 in, I think it was 2020, and you'll be able to visually identify those, which we'll cover off shortly. The reason I touched on the serial tags here is the serial tags have a QR code on it. The QR code will take you to POD Plus, which is one of our websites. POD stands for Parts on Demand. The scanning that QR code is 24/7. So if it's 3 in the morning, you call us, you can literally scan that. While it will take you to POD Plus, it does not take you to the home page. It takes you to the exact page for that fifth wheel that you're looking at. So all you've got to do is scan that QR code for the fifth wheel, and it will take you to the exact information for that fifth wheel. The parts list, the owner's manual, the rebuild manuals, everything is in there that you need to work on that fifth wheel. So very helpful for you. The other thing to look for in the serial tag is the model number, how it starts. So an FW level part number, as you can see, the picture to the right of that top serial tag, that comes complete with fifth wheel, feet, slider, everything. Where at the bottom one, the X8 level is an aftermarket top plate, and it's just the top plate. So if you ever have to replace a top plate, if you have an FW level part number, that's how we supply it to the OEMs, then just make sure that you look that up, go through your spare parts outlet and say, this is the parent part number, I just need the top plate. And they'll be able to work with our CSRs, and they'll break that down into just an X8 level part number just for the top plate. Just save you some money. Owner's manual, there's what it looks like, and the link on the bottom if you have this presentation. Otherwise, you can look that up on our website or our microsite and get into that. Lubrication procedures. So lubricate the locking mechanism every 3 months, 30,000 miles, and then every 6 months, 60,000 miles. We want you to thoroughly clean everything and do an inspection. The proper lubrication method, remove all grease, debris, etc. off all the contact surfaces, and we want you to use a water-resistant lithium-based grease. Okay, that grease is A, B, and C, which is the swing, lock to hook areas, lock area where the kingpin makes contact, and the cam track. D and E are a light oil, which is the hook pin and the release handle pivot point, and then F is just a light oil on the cap roll. That's what you need. Now, when you are greasing the top plate, top surface of the top plate, you only need to grease the load-bearing surface of the fifth wheel. The center section is recessed, so you don't need to grease that section at all. Air cylinders, if you have an air release version of the FW17, 2 things, the shaft, all you need to do on the shaft is just wipe that down. You can just use a penetrating oil and a clean chop towel. Don't use anything abrasive. It's a shaft that runs on a seal inside that air cylinder. If you gouge that, it's going to leak, it's not going to hold air, which defeats the purpose of the air cylinder. The other thing to do is because all air systems have moisture in some way, shape or form, we recommend just putting 2 to 4 drops of tool oil in there during each PM cycle. Now, luckily, the fitting should be pushed to connect, so it's literally just pulling an airline out of a push to connect fitting, dropping some tool oil in it, and then reconnecting the airline back into the fitting. So very simple and easy to do to make sure that that will have a long and happy life being an air cylinder. So the adjustment procedure on a FW17, we recommend to use the lock tool because if you use a kingpin on a bar, which I've seen workshops do, that will not guarantee you've got a perfectly 90-degree to the top plate. And if you use the lock tester, our lock tester, it has 3 points of contact. So it's always going to be 90 degrees to the top plate. Okay. Now, how do you check if it needs adjustment? Not just from the driver saying, I feel tracking backwards and forwards or something like that. Insert the lock tester in, grab the J hook in the front, okay, and lock that in, and then pull this handle. Initially, you'll pull this handle back and scribe a line at the bottom of the what looks like the ramps in the lock tester, then push it forward, scribe another line, and measure the difference. If it's more than 80 thou, it probably needs an adjustment. Okay, so to do the adjustment, there are 2 ways to do it. The easiest way is to undo this cap screw and grab a pair of channel locks. This is an eccentric cam. It's actually the pin that holds the jaws and everything into place. Okay, and undo that, grab the channel locks, grab that eccentric pin and rotate that around to the next notch, and then put the cap screw back in. The other option you can do is to remove the adjustment clip underneath, pop the pin head up just slightly over the cap screw, rotate it around and pop it back down. The downside to that may be if you get too overzealous to pop the pin out, and then it creates a lot more work. So the pin is probably the preferred method of taking that cap screw out. All right, FW17 repair manuals, that's the manual number there for everything you'll need for if you want to rebuild or repair that fifth wheel. Seasonal maintenance, we do recommend every 6 months. So spring and fall is the ideal. If you're in a northern state, like we are here in Michigan, then we recommend you do that during fall. That'll give it a clean, fresh lubricant set to get through the winter with all the salt and stuff they put on the roads from snow. And then during spring, you go and clean all that gunk off and go from there, and gives it a nice fresh start through to summer as well when it's nice and off. So the differences between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 plate that we had were changed over in 2020. All right, the Gen 1 on the left there, the Gen 2 on the right, you can see that the bracket retention is slightly different. And also the wider throat angle. It also has the FWA version front lock and keeper, whereas the 17, if it wears up there in any way, shape or form, you're wearing into the casting. This has a keeper, which is a very simple 1-bolt replaceable wearable component that you can replace that and keep the fifth wheel in service. All right, and from underneath, you can see some of the components now are shared with the FWAL, which is the aluminum version of the fifth wheel that Holland does. Some slightly upgraded block mechanism geometry, but a lot of the components are either the same or compromised with the FWAL. FW17 series, the lock adjustment video. There's a link there on Vimeo, but it's readily available on our YouTube channel as well, so you can watch that. So here's some resources that we have. SAF-HOLLAND.us is our website. If you do happen to type in SAF-HOLLAND.com, it will just take you to our global website, and you've got to hit USA and English language, and it'll take you to the US site anyway. So it's just a couple of extra steps. We do recognize that we do have a lot of products, so it's not just fifth wheels. We have kingpins and landing gear and couplers and disc brakes and drum brakes and axles, suspensions and tire inflation. And we haven't even got started on putting Haldex into our website yet. So what we've done is we've created some microsites for products. It's not every document that you'll need, but it's the greatest hits. And it just makes it a lot easier to find than everything's on our main website. So HollandFifthWheels.com is for all our fifth wheel information. You can jump on that, anyone can get to that. And then the manuals that are mentioned in this presentation, you've got the owner's manual, the rebuild manual, seasonal maintenance manual, and service parts manual in there as well. And a YouTube channel, there's a link there, but SAF-HOLLAND, just search for that. It's the first one that comes up. These are all the links to either the videos or the documents that you'll need for everything to do with this FW17 fifth wheel. I would highly recommend the coupling and uncoupling procedures. If you don't already, please add that to your driver training regime. And just make sure that the drivers know what they should and should not be doing when they're coupling fifth wheels. This is what a microsite looks like, so you can see where you can select the product there. FW17 is basically right in the middle of the screen. Its sister one that shares components with is the big image at the top there, the FWAL, the aluminum fifth wheel. For each fifth wheel, you'll have rebuild procedures, adjustment procedures, coupling and uncoupling videos. They're all available at any time of day, which will help technicians to work on these fifth wheels. And then if you do have issues, there's myself in the top left there. I'm Tony Ryan. I've got Ben Dartes, my three guys. Ben Dartes works on the West Coast. Kyle Hinton works in the centre. And standing with me today is Ronnie Hines. He covers the East Coast of the USA. All right, that is it for the presentation. I'm just going to shut the PowerPoint down, stop sharing that. And we're going to go live with the fifth wheels in the room here. Now let me flip this over so I can show you some components under here. Okay, good. Okay, so this is the Gen 1 FW17. Like always, serial tags on the left-hand side ramp, just here. With the QR code, you can see that there. Okay, so handle, it has a unique handle. Like I said, the Gen 2 is going to be commonized to the FWAL. It has a different mechanism, being a single swinging jaw. You have the swinging jaw in there, and then you have the hook that comes around, and this hook locks in behind here. Okay, but make sure all your components are lubricated as they need to be, whether it's light oil or grease. Make sure that they are lubricated appropriately to make sure that they work as they should. A couple of things I'm gonna flip this over. We'll just tell you that if you want to problem solve with these, the vast majority of issues is solved with one phrase: clean, lubricate, and adjust. That will solve the vast majority of your issues going forward. Okay. Now, as far as greasing the top side of this, as I mentioned, the center section here is recessed. You don't need to look at that at all. As far as greasing it, just grease the top plate load bearing surfaces. You can be fairly light, especially when it comes to the front end, because when you grease here, you don't want all your brand new grease to end up off the front up here. So just fill in these grooves and make sure that you have a little bit of excess here, and it will wipe itself up anyway. Okay. We do get asked from time to time, what's the wear limit? It's these grease grooves. But the other thing to look at is the adjustment on this. I'm not going to do a correct adjustment on this right now, but the two ways, as we mentioned in the presentation, take this cap screw out and then rotate that around to the next notch. Okay. The other way is to pop the clip off the bottom, pop that pin up, and rotate it around and put it back down. That will help as far as the Loctite that's on that screw not working anymore because you've taken the screw out and you'd have to replace it. The downside of doing it that way is if you pop that eccentric pin out, that'll create a whole bunch of work for you to put it back together. So it's up to you which way you do it. The cap screw is probably easier, just with another drop of Loctite on there as well. Okay. So how do you check whether it needs an adjustment? And this is the lock tester we recommend, SAF-HOLLAND 5001. Okay. And not only does it have 3 points of contact, but it has this big long lever arm. Makes life so much easier to actually and to carve. Okay. So to do a check on these, pull on the handle back, scribe a line, push on the handle, scribe a line, 80 thou. That will tell you if it's within 80 thou, leave it. If it's outside 80 thou, then you need to adjust it to the next notch. Okay. And you have 3 separate notches that you can do that. Okay. So that is how you would check an FW17 fifth wheel. And unlock that, nice and easy, and take the lock tester out. If there's any questions, you can always reach out to myself and my team, and we'll be able to help you out from there. So let's go and put the camera back. I'll share the contacts again, just for anyone watching this back. Taking us there. So just quickly, there's my team again, myself, Ronnie, Kyle, Ben. If you do have any other issues, you do also have the product and warranty email and phone numbers down the bottom there, whether it's aftermarket, customer service, tech support, OEM service, or warranty. The numbers and emails are certainly down there as well. So if you have any issues with that, feel free to reach out and be able to help you. Hopefully you've learned something today. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll upload this to YouTube so everyone can get it shortly. Thank you.